Hello, welcome everyone. Welcome, welcome.
Hey everyone, welcome to the webinar.
We're so glad you're here. We're your hostesses. I'm Angela Racchio.
And I'm Danielle Zeese.
And we are the co-founders of HealYourAdrenalFatigue.com. And we're so excited. We're about to share with you our 7 steps to our unique adrenal fatigue recovery system. So we don't want to waste any more time. We're going to jump right in with the presentation.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to kick things off. So our promise to you guys is over the next 40 minutes, we're going to break down our proven step-by-step system, showing you exactly what to do and how to do it when it comes to recovering from adrenal fatigue once and for all. The system is designed to reduce overwhelm. And what we're going to share with you today doesn't require you to research for hours, deprive your body through strict diets, spend hours in the kitchen cooking, or any of these other methods that you may have thought were necessary. It is a total body recovery system. It's not a simple supplement fix or a quick dietary tweak. It's about how each step in the system that we're going to show you works together with the next that really makes it so successful. And our system is a multifaceted approach. It's based on science and years of collaborative research from a variety of integrative experts. And it's been paired with experience. Based on what we know, get results for our clients all around the world. And don't worry, we're not asking you to believe in our system just yet. Instead, right now, all we're asking you to do is just open up your minds to a different approach, something you may have never seen before. And we know your time's valuable. So if you stay till the end of the webinar, we're going to give you something very special, a little treat, if you will. And it's our morning rituals guide. So when you have adrenal fatigue, it's so easy to wake up feeling tired, feeling heavy, and we don't want you to start your day stressed and exhausted, wondering how you're going to get through it anymore. So with this, you're going to get checklists, recipes, and a comprehensive guide on how to make mornings easy and crazy delicious and inspiring. So stick with us. This is an amazing resource.
Yeah, I love your drinks in there. So yummy, your coffee alternatives. Don't want to miss this one.
Thanks, Angela. So chances are, if you're here, you're tired of not fully living your life, being held back by your energy levels and your symptoms. Maybe you've spent hundreds to thousands of dollars on supplements and you're not getting those real results that you're looking for. Maybe you're just fed up and frustrated and ready to kiss adrenal fatigue goodbye for good. Does that sound familiar? Well, if so, then you're in the right place. And we have some extremely exciting news for you. Because we know recovery is really about addressing a few things, key things, and really being consistent with them. And what we do works. And we have found that often the results people are seeking are much closer than they think, especially when you address key issues right at their root. And that's really what our system is all about. And we're about to share that with you right now. So the system that we're about to walk you through has allowed us and countless others to just correct their cortisol curves, balance out their moods, increase their energy, get deep, more powerful sleeps, to improve their resiliency, create newfound stamina in their bodies, mental clarity, and just so much more. And as you may know, the symptoms of hormonal imbalance and adrenal fatigue are really vast. They're far-reaching and they can affect our body in some ways that we often don't even connect. But the system is all about helping people get their lives back in so many different ways by allowing them to just break free of the cycle that keeps them from living their ultimate life. And oh my gosh, I know, Angela, you can relate, but when you break that cycle, literally anything is possible for you. And that's why we're so excited.
Yeah.
So you may have even heard of some or seen in some adrenal fatigue communities. We see this a lot. You see it in the blogs and such. People are saying recovery is impossible and that you can expect to struggle for years and that it becomes more about managing symptoms than truly recovering. So, people are telling people that you're going to be stuck with this for the rest of your life. And I don't know about you, but that's not nice to hear. And we didn't buy that point of view. We couldn't accept that, not for 1 second. And we hope that you don't either. So we're here to tell you that simply isn't true and that recovery is absolutely possible, my friend. you can get control of this. And the thing is, you just need a plan. And you need a plan that targets all the things, not just one thing, not just two things, not these things on their own, but you need a comprehensive plan that targets all the things together. And I want you to meet Tori. So Tori was spiraling downwards with some pretty intense stage 3 adrenal fatigue burnout symptoms. But she didn't really realize what was going on. And, her doctors were at a loss. They kept recommending antidepressants. And Tori was really frustrated. Maybe you guys can relate too. And she found herself in a sea of online research. And that's when she found us. And so I actually spoke with Tori recently. She's now in vet school. She's under the most pressure, she says, that she's ever been in her life, which made me so nervous to hear. But what's really cool is that she told me that she's been navigating it all better than she could have ever imagined. And she said that was thanks to the tools and the habits that she's armed herself with through our system. And it's just amazing to hear and see her life getting so much better and her carrying these tools into, long-term results for herself. And so we're going to share exactly how we helped Tori and countless others of our clients do this in just a moment. But before we go any further, we just want to share a little bit about ourselves and a bit about our expertise. So who we are, why you should trust us, and why you should listen to what we have to say today. So hey, this is me. I'm Danielle Zeese, and I'm really excited to be connecting with you guys on this webinar today. So just a quick bit about me. I'm a nutritionist, a health, lifestyle, and fatigue coach. And my specialty is really helping clients regain their energy, balance out their hormones, and overcome health challenges by targeting root issues with deep, total body nourishment. I'm from Toronto, Canada, but actually I'm currently living in Asia, Seoul, Korea, actually, with my partner. And while I'm here, I've been learning the ins and outs of traditional Oriental medicine, which has been lots of fun. But enough about me. I'm really proud and honored to introduce you to and pass you off to my good friend, colleague, and the other half of Heal Your Adrenal Fatigue, Angela Rocchio.
Thanks, Danielle. So sweet. And you're such a pleasure. This woman is so amazing to work with. It's so much fun. So I live on the central coast of California with my patient and my loving husband and amazing son, Dakota. As you can see on the slide there, I dabble in different modalities. I'm a healer, a yoga teacher, lifestyle and health coach. And really, I'm just a woman, a mother with a purpose. I want to live a great life, and I'm not willing to settle for mediocre or ordinary. And I want to really help those who are struggling, that want that too, that want an extraordinary life, that are willing to go for it, do whatever it takes to get their health and their life back. I love what I do. I use innovative mindfulness and spiritual tools to help people completely rewire their brains, changing the way they react to life and to stress and anxiety. I'm really grateful for my life and the health I've created after, it hasn't always been that way for me. We hear a lot of stories. Everyone we talk to has a story. We know you have a story too. We definitely have our stories, which you can read about on our blogs. I'm not going to waste your time right now going through that, but like how adrenal fatigue has affected not only our bodies, our health, but our lives, our relationships, our careers, our dreams. And, in my case, I struggled with fertility for years, and then, had a miscarriage and at 3 months of pregnancy, and it was devastating. I, losing that baby who I thought, was going to be a part of our lives. And it was really the lowest point of my life. And I hit rock bottom, and you might be able to relate. It was really hitting rock bottom though, that, a voice was telling me that something had to change. And, it really changed my life forever, because I really started making my own health a priority. And again, I was going to do whatever it took. Like, it was a huge motivator for me to get my life back and to be strong again, and to never, ever be in this place again of stage 3 adrenal fatigue and so many symptoms, just miserable every day, and dealing with, all these other things that were going on in my life too. So it really was a wake up call for me. I spent a lot of time after that miscarriage, a lot of hard days after, but, and then, I really just got to the bottom of everything. I spent months and months researching like crazy, reading whatever I could get my hands on, learning as much as I could. And I finally started getting answers. I was finally diagnosed with stage 3 adrenal fatigue. You know, I made a lot of mistakes along my healing journey. I spent hundreds of dollars on supplements I read about on online forums and with negative side effects. I went on detox diets I thought were helping me, but I found out they were actually taxing my adrenals. You might be able to relate. You know, I did a lot of things right though, gave myself some credit. I started to realize patterns that maybe were at some of the root of my issues, and adrenal fatigue, addiction to stress, and overcommitting, taking life a little too seriously. And I began to realize I had to do some inner work. And once I started doing that, and once I got real with myself on that, my healing accelerated big time, which is pretty awesome. By the time I healed from adrenal fatigue, I figured out a lot, but unfortunately I had to do it the hard way. It took years, and I missed out on a lot. And, you know, I can, if you're here, most likely you can relate to that. And, you know, how it's affecting your relationship with your children or maybe your partner, how your health is just standing in the way of living a great life. And, you know, that's why we're here. We really want to help, you know, make this easier for you. You know, I have such great health. I'm so grateful for where I'm at right now with my health, and I'm able to, like, you know, give back to the world and share my gifts. And I have a beautiful, healthy son now who's 4 years old, and I can be more present now with him. And I take time to slow down, and I'm finally, you know, the mother and the partner and the mentor and the coach I've truly, like, always wanted to be. So that's really why I'm sitting here today. You know, Danielle and I have seen so many people struggling with some pretty intense things, having a hard time keeping up. I mean, with the clients we see, people in our communities, people stuck in bed, depressed, overwhelmed, you know, anxious, not sleeping, you know, severe mental imbalances, mood swings. It's, you know, really, I mean, I hate to say it, but like hating their lives, right? Just like totally fed up. And, you know, we started doing a lot of research a couple years ago and discovered that there was data supporting, you know, what we were seeing, like 80% of adults will experience adrenal fatigue at some point in their lives. And the number one thing we saw was that there wasn't enough support to help those who wanted to recover, especially those that wanted to recover without, you know, medication and synthetic hormone therapy, replacement therapy, and psychotherapy. And after we recovered, we were excited to create a system based on what worked for us, because we wanted to show others how to do it too. And since then, we've brought together a handful of other adrenal fatigue experts that have helped us to tweak and refine and perfect our 7-step system. And we've used this system to help countless numbers of clients and recover. And it's been such an honor. We're excited to share our 7 steps with you today. Are you ready? Imagine for a moment that, you know, it's a few months from now and you are symptom-free. You're waking up feeling rested. You feel strong in your body. You love your body. Again, you have confidence in it. And you're starting to, like, pursue your dreams and do the things that you've been wanting to do for years. And you're showing up for the people that you love the way you want to. And at the end of the day, it feels really good. Wouldn't that be awesome? Well, we want to, yeah, right. We really want to help you get there. So without further ado, we're going to jump into the 7 steps with Danielle.
Thank you, Angela. Yeah, so guys, we're going to break everything down step by step, and we're going to just share as much as we can during this time together today. So I encourage you to take some notes. And we know you're frustrated, and we just want to share the fastest way and most, you know, holistic approach that we know of, you know, that we're confident in to help you recover from adrenal fatigue once and for all. Mm-hmm. So step 1 is, let's just jump right in, is harmonize your hormones. Huge. And hormones, I know, can seem totally confusing, but they're really important. And essentially, if you don't know what hormones are, just in a nutshell, is they're chemical messengers. And they are directly influencing how you feel right now and how you feel day to day. And because adrenal fatigue is very much an issue of hormonal imbalance, it's vital that our system starts here. And when you start to understand, like, this cascade of hormonal imbalance that really gets sparked when the adrenals are put under chronic stress, it starts to tie so many connections together. And adrenal issues at their root have to do with the demands for cortisol and stress hormones that we put on our body. And whether it's one large stressful event or like a steady, slow buildup of stress in our lives that finally tips the curve. And when I say curve, cortisol is actually a curve, the way that it fluctuates hormonally throughout the day. That curve can either become like too high, too low, or just out of whack in general. And that's where we start to notice problems. And so generally in the earlier phases of burnout, we see cortisol just surging as our body pumps out lots of steroid stress hormones like cortisol, like epinephrine and adrenaline. But over time, and as resources and energy in our body starts to subside, these levels begin to tinder off, and we get to a point where we're no longer making enough. And in either case, too high, too low, these symptoms start to arise. And that's when we're starting to feel frustrated. And when this goes on for too long, our body is essentially stuck in this survival state. And we see that our body will actually start stealing from and converting sex hormones to make more stress hormones. And then you have like a bit of a storm going on, because when these sex hormones get imbalanced along with the cortisol curve, we start to really notice these symptoms. And here's a list. It's just a handful. There's so many more out there, but this list gives you an idea of some of the things that you might notice. Stubborn belly fat, thyroid issues, sudden food sensitivities, developing an autoimmune condition or several autoimmune conditions, depression, anxiety, low libido, fibroids, cysts, fertility issues, so on and so forth. And depending on what stage of adrenal fatigue you're in and what hormones are out of sync, these symptoms, of course, are going to vary. But it's important to mention that our resiliency and our immunity becomes implicated in this process. And in fact, we see just such an enormous correlation between advanced stages of adrenal issues and autoimmune conditions, and especially ones like Hashimoto's or Graves' disease, even celiac disease, rheumatoid arthritis. We see it a lot. And what I really want you to realize, I know this is a lot of information, but is how this issue of putting these chronically high demands for stress hormones on our body, how that really influences just a cascade of other health issues and hormonal disturbances like I'm showing you here. So it's big. And I don't want you to worry, because the beautiful thing is, and what we're about to share with you through the rest of this 7-step system is that we're going to support this big idea right at its root. And from here on out, everything that we're going to share with you is a lot less complicated than understanding hormones. And the thing is, a lot of this has to do with the way that our brain is receiving messages and communicating with the rest of the body. That's like a huge part of what's going on with how our hormones communicate and respond. And that is a perfect segue into the next step. So Angela, I'm going to pass the torch to you.
Okay, thanks, Danielle. So now you know the way that you respond to stress every day affects your health and your hormones and creates this cascade. So if we continue to let our bodies be under constant stress, we're not going to be able to break the cycle. We won't be able to truly recover, and we're going to keep finding ourselves back here, unfortunately. So the important question is, how do we stop the chronic stress? And that's what step 2 is all about, rewiring the brain. It's about changing the way we react to life, to potential stressors, so we can stop the constant firing of the stress response. And we can do this in several ways, which I'm not going to go into all of that in this webinar, but it is about creating new patterns and pathways by what I like to call a pattern interrupt. And it's really stopping the strong reaction and the stress response in its tracks. And again, I use many different types of methods with my clients to do this. See, many of us are waiting till our health improves, and then we think that we're going to react differently. We're going to be able to handle stress better, but it doesn't really work that way. We have to choose to change our reaction to life and potential stressful situations. And then our bodies and our adrenals will follow suit. So, it's okay, because there is good news. You can change it. That's the beauty of this. We can rewire our brains. We just need tools and innovative strategies to rewire the brain. And we can help you do just that. That's actually what I love doing. It's my specialty. So I do this work with clients every day. And if you're willing to apply these strategies, they do work. And it doesn't necessarily take hours, of meditating and hypnotherapy in order for this to happen. I mean, I love meditation. I'm a yoga instructor, meditation teacher. I love it, but it doesn't always require that much. I have strategies that are super, super effective and can work very quickly. I've just scratched the surface here, guys. The amazing thing is the human body has an innate built-in mechanism for healing, but it takes doing the inner work too. It takes rewiring the brain and stopping that continuous hormonal cascade. Okay. And I want to help you access that. So that's the fun stuff. But right now I'm going to pass it over to Danielle for step 3 of our system.
Thanks, Angela. So step 3 is optimize nutrient absorption. And this is the puzzle piece that I find a lot of other protocols and programs out there tend to miss. And the truth is that missing this piece can really lead to failed attempts and ongoing suffering. So if this is you and you feel like you're doing all the right things, you're taking great supplements, or what you think are great supplements, but you're eating great stuff, you're eating well, this is where I really want you to listen up. Optimal nutrient absorption is really a common barrier to recovery. And it is truly something that holds people back from actually seeing the fruits of their labor when it comes to diet, when it comes to supplements. And I want to share with you why this is such a big deal and why you might be dealing with it. And of course, how you can fix it. What can you do? And there are a lot of reasons why our bodies have trouble absorbing nutrients and why we suffer from gastrointestinal issues. So for example, here are some of the things, like it could be poor digestion, intestinal permeability, also known as leaky gut syndrome, parasites or a bacterial infection, candida overgrowth, or just toxic overload in our body in general. And I know these issues can feel heavy sometimes, especially if you've been struggling for a while. And the honest truth is that we see issues like this mixed in with more serious issues or serious cases of adrenal fatigue all the time. It's really common. And a lot of the time, these issues in the GI, they add a ton of stress onto the shoulders of the adrenals. And it can make it really hard to recover or, balance out your adrenal issues if you don't fix these root level problems in the gut. And in my opinion, it can be almost impossible to recover if you're not addressing these issues. So long story short, honing in on the health of your GI is going to serve you in so many ways. And one of the biggest is actually just how you're going to be utilizing the nutrients from your food and supplements and more effectively. And when you do that, that alone has the power to totally shift how you feel moment to moment, day to day, every day. It's huge. And the other benefit is you're shutting off a major inflammatory and a major inflammatory response, and a response that's really exacerbating this whole stress cascade of events that really keep you stuck with your adrenal issues and your hormonal imbalance. So when you come and you fix your gut issues, or you start improving those gut issues, a lot of the other annoying things and these symptoms that you may have been struggling with, you might find that they start to balance out and correct themselves too. It's honestly incredible. And that brings me to the next point. So discovering your healing diet, the ultimate adrenal recovery diet. And chances are, if you're here, you may have some anxiety around what you should or shouldn't be eating. Maybe you've already eliminated tons of stuff from your diet, or maybe you're on the other end of the spectrum and you've been just relying on sugar, coffee, starchy carbs, maybe processed foods to just get you through the day. There's tons of info out there, and I know nutrition and diet can be really confusing and overwhelming, just trying to figure out what would be right for you. And I know this can be a real challenge for a lot of you. And so today I want to just give you some clear and simple guidelines that you can just get cracking with right away to help improve, in your energy and your resilience and help you on the right path. And to be honest, healing from adrenal fatigue is not a one size fits all thing. We're all different. And so I don't believe there's any real standard adrenal recovery diet, because it really depends on your needs. I mean, I've seen people thriving on ketogenic diets, paleo diets, Mediterranean diets, vegetarian, even vegan diets, and then their own customized mixes and matches of these types of diets and then some. So the thing is, it just totally depends on you, how you feel after you eat. That's a big one. And like, how is your body responding to the food that you're giving it? So just all of that aside, the number one thing you need to do right away is stop eating things that are creating more stress on your system. And that really comes back to what we just spoke about in step 3. Like step 3 and step 4 of the system really go hand in hand, because you can see how it can be a vicious cycle. And you can see why a holistic approach is so important for lasting results, because, you know, what you eat has such an influence on the state of your gut health, and your gut health has such an influence on how you utilize and digest food and nutrients. So it's all huge. So right now, I just want to give you 3 quick tips for kickstarting your adrenal health with food. And number 1, like I said, is just removing those foods you're reacting or you're sensitive to. If you can, get tested. If not, just keep a food journal for a week or so, track what you ate, and note how you feel after. This can just be really helpful in connecting dots and tracking patterns that you may not have seen before or suspected with problem foods. And so once you've gotten those problem foods out of the way, you focus on replacing with just really nourishing, nutrient-dense whole foods, and balancing out your meals with quality fats, healthy fats, quality proteins, and the right types of carbohydrates in the right amounts. Portion control is honestly key. And a lot of us are relying on false energy from caffeine and sugar. And, you know, this keeps us highly stimulated, and especially the coffee, you know, the caffeinated beverages, they really can interfere with our sleep and further contribute to this whole hormonal and blood sugar relationship, the issues that we see so commonly with adrenal fatigue. So another thing I recommend right off the bat is removing all stimulants for a good 30 days to reset your system. Give it a break and allow yourself to really embrace and recognize your true inner energy. It's really powerful. And like a fun fact, by cutting these things out, you're likely going to find that you sleep better too. And so while we're on the topic of sleep, I'm going to pass the torch back to Angela so she can tell you about step number 5.
Yay. Danielle, thanks for simplifying that food stuff. Okay, step 5 is all about sleeping in rhythm. We know many of you struggle with sleep issues, insomnia, falling asleep, you know, staying asleep. And the truth is, when you're tired, everything is harder. So right now, I want to help you understand like why getting good sleep right now is such a challenge and what to do about it. The reason it's so hard is because of our circadian rhythms are out of balance. Our circadian rhythms are our natural sleep and wake cycles. So, you know, we're diurnal beings. That means we're supposed to sleep during the light hours, wake during the light hours and sleeping in the darkness. And, you know, but most of us don't really follow that necessarily, right? Because of electricity and, you know, we have lights and technology and things to keep us up. So over time, these, you know, our circadian rhythms have gotten out of whack. And what's important is like, what's keeping the rhythm going and what's cueing us to do various things in our lives, like waking up and going to sleep and getting tired, it's all about hormones, right? Our cortisol is what wakes us up in the morning. The melatonin is the hormone that we make in the evening that makes us sleepy and prepares us actually for deep sleep. So now you can see the correlation between, you know, hormone imbalance and sleep issues, right? So, you know, if nighttime cortisol levels aren't more elevated than they should be, that causes us to feel wired at night, making it hard to wind down, fall asleep, and even have restful sleep. Another thing that happens with the elevated nighttime cortisol is it prohibits the melatonin from reaching adequate levels, which that's obviously what I just talked about. It helps us, you know, wind down. It helps the REM sleep. It helps us, you know, sleep more deeply. So no matter, you know, if the circadian rhythm got out of whack because of hormonal issues, other health issues, or poor sleep habits, you know, we don't need to necessarily judge ourselves, but it's good for us to be honest with ourselves. Let that be information for us, so we can get out of this nasty sleep pattern that we're in, if that's an issue for you. You know, like, yeah, just being honest with ourselves, like what could we be doing differently? Are we staying up too late? Are we drinking caffeine or drinking caffeine too late in the day maybe? You know, relying on lots of processed sugars, those types of things. So, yeah, so really what I want to do, I promised you guys some tips, and I know that you really are looking for, you know, support in this area. So really the strategies I'm going to give you today are all about helping your melatonin levels be more optimal. Okay, so you can get that. You can wind down more easily in the evenings and go to sleep more easily and stay asleep. Number one is to go to bed before 11, because melatonin tends to be highest before 11 p.m. So it's going to be easier for you to fall asleep. Now for me, sometimes it tends to be a little bit closer to 10:30. You got to feel like, I notice that that's like the tipping point for me before I go to overdrive. Number two, avoid bright lights and screens before bed, at least an hour we recommend. These lights are, there's something chemically happening here, right? It's the pineal gland is actually, it shuts the pineal gland off, and that's the part of the brain that makes melatonin. So super important. Number three is to prepare yourself for sleep. So making that last hour before bed, like really, where you're winding down, you're doing some self-care, like you're taking a bath, or you're, stretching, listening to some soft music, reading, something that's going to really prepare you for sleep, getting you kind of transitioning from the stress of the day and the go of the day to like just really being calm, right? And then step four is magnesium, incorporating magnesium. Now, a lot of you have tried magnesium and you feel like it hasn't helped you. Just a couple things I want to say about this is sometimes different forms work better for different people. For me, I don't like to take pill forms of things. I don't feel like my body properly absorbs it as well as some other things. So for magnesium, I like to try the magnesium spray or, do Epsom salt baths. What's important for you to realize is that magnesium is a relaxing mineral. So it's going to allow your brain to slow down, helping you prepare for sleep. Even if it's not like the cure-all thing that's going to be the one thing that's going to all of a sudden snap, going to make you sleep better, it doesn't mean that you can't use it. It doesn't mean it's not going to contribute to better sleep. Because one thing we do know is that 50% of Americans are deficient in magnesium. So you definitely could most likely benefit from it. So, like anything else, these tips, these are just a few tips. We have lots of other, blogs out there, tips. We love working with our clients on this, particular issue, but we have to understand is that what works for some doesn't work for all. And it's going to take a little bit of trial and error. So that's important for you to, to really work to make this a priority, to make sleep, tackling the sleep issue, an important part of your healing process. And it leads me to step 6, which is realizing your healing movement. We see a pattern with those suffering from adrenal fatigue, being a lot of A-type personalities, wanting to push themselves way too hard. Maybe you can relate, whether it's in a department, the area of fitness or your career or as a parent, whatever. And we're really good maybe at what we do and getting a lot done, but we're not quite as good at really allowing our bodies to take a break, taking care of ourselves, rejuvenating our bodies, right? So a lot of times, many of us are left, with just total burnout, having to quit our jobs, being bedridden. Maybe that's the extreme case, but wherever you are on the spectrum, we want to help you find. It's a very important part to find movement and exercise that's supportive to your healing, because we know, some movement is powerful, but because adrenal fatigue is a condition of depletion. Many intense exercise will most likely make it worse, depending on what stage of adrenal fatigue that you are in. So it's important to understand that. We need to also
Angela.
We do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Big thing. People
wanting to push themselves a little too hard and really not wanting to give up their routines and their workouts. And, just remember that this healing process is temporary. Sometimes I'm not, so maybe, you might not be able to go back to like extremes, but, it's not a forever thing. So it's important to really take care of your body. And so, remembering that exercise is not about going to the gym or running on the treadmill or, lift. It's not just about that, lifting weights. And really when you're recovering from adrenal fatigue, we just really encourage you guys to focus more on things that are really nourishing for the body and that are going to not drain, your energy more and stress out your body and tax your adrenals. Things like walking, yin or restorative yoga, light swimming, some light biking, and more importantly than that, I like to talk about is like doing something that you really enjoy. How can you enjoy with whatever that you're choosing to do? Maybe, doing things outside, like walks in nature are great. You're going to be soaking up fresh air and vitamin D from the sun, those types of things. If you feel like your body's always hurting after workout and you're down for a couple of days after, that means you're pushing too hard. So it's really about finding the balance between high and low impact activities that are really going to really support your healing. Okay. So those are the 6 steps of so far of our system. They're pretty straightforward, and we've given you some powerful tips. But we have to say implementing this is a whole another ball game and can be challenging for most people, is what we find. As they say, the devil is in the details, and that's why we have one final pillar that really ties this all together. And it's get a coach. As Bill Gates says, everyone needs a coach. We think it's really important to find a support system. We truly believe it. You don't have to, but those that have coaches are most often reach their goals and have richer and healthier lives. So, that's an important piece to kind of share with you guys. If you think about it, many of us know what we should, be doing, or how to maybe be healthier. But the hard part is actually getting started, or knowing what to do next, and or getting through those hard days, or you have questions, and so it kind of stops you in your tracks. And you don't have someone to keep you motivated and accountable, and that can make all the difference in the world. You have to remember, it takes a bit of time and practice to create new habits. And the same goes for your hormones. They're not going to fix overnight. But that also doesn't have to take years either. And, you could continue to struggle for years and waste thousands of dollars trying to do this on your own. Not to mention, wasting a lot of time, and, or, you can get support, and there is support out there. And we'd like to share in a couple minutes, we'd love to share a really cool way how you can work directly with our team to implement our recovery system that we've been sharing with you into your life. And we totally honored to be a part of it. And if you don't work with us, we just recommend that you find someone to be accountable to, system to follow, a comprehensive system to follow. Danielle and I have had coaches, mentors, and practitioners we've invested thousands and thousands of dollars in to have the health, the resiliency, the life, and the mindset, the happiness that we have. And if you're not sure of the power of coaching, you can read about it. But we have coaches, our coaches have coaches. We can't stress enough how important this piece is to making really lasting change in your life, especially when it comes to adrenal fatigue. And so if you want that, it's just about taking action, because, all the education in the world, all the knowledge, all the books are useless unless you can really, really have the energy and the support to take action, right? So I'm going to let Danielle take over now.
Yeah, thanks, Angela. So before I just jump into this thought, I just wanted to say, all of these things that we were talking about today in our system, sometimes they seem simple, right? But it's implementing them. And that's what we're talking about here. And, sometimes it seems easy, I just need to eat better. I need to change the way I exercise. But it's really how all of these little changes that you start to implement, how they build on each other, and how that kind of catapults you into a whole new, snowballing of recovery once these things are kind of balancing on all these different levels. But I want to admit, doing this and recovering from adrenal fatigue isn't necessarily an easy breezy walk in the park. Sometimes, it sounds a lot easier than it is, but the truth is, it shouldn't take years to balance your hormones and feel normal again. And for so many people, this has been the case. It's so frustrating. So this maybe has been your experience. And if it has, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you've struggled for so long, but we have changed our whole reality and helped our clients all over the world to do the same. And because of this, we know we have the tools to help you do the same if you're ready to just kick this to the curb once and for all. So you can get results like Leslie. She came to us struggling with fatigue and energy issues after having her second baby. She was disappointed in herself, the way that she was showing up as a mother, or lack thereof. And after just 6 weeks into the program with us, she started running again, which was amazing. And she actually completed one triathlon before the end of the program. And the last time we spoke to her, she was preparing for another one. She said that she was connecting more with her husband, and she actually had more energy for her 2 children. She thought at first that she could do it all on her own, but then she realized she didn't have to, and that was really freeing for her. And then there's Stephanie, and Stephanie was also suffering from extreme exhaustion. She could barely get out of bed. She was having these horrible flare-ups that actually caused her to have to quit her job. she just felt so helpless and like so alone because nobody could figure out what was wrong with her. And like Tori, who I introduced you to earlier, the doctors just kept recommending her antidepressants, but she knew that wasn't the thing that she needed. But after working with us, Stephanie went back to work as an actress. She was able to do that. And she was able to work these super long days with little to no breaks. And the beauty of it, she was having no flare-ups. And that hadn't happened for Stephanie in years. So we just want to share with you what's possible when you follow a proven and comprehensive healing system like this. So if you're here today, you're probably sick of the weight loss efforts and not seeing results, and you're sick of your hormones ruling your life. You're probably just fed up with all of this and ready to see some results. And you just want to see your old self back, maybe even something better, just so over it. So if that's you, you need a plan. You need new tools. Let's do this. You need some accountability, a mentor. You need to say yes to a better life. Are you ready to do it? I know investing in yourself, it can be scary. But honestly, if we didn't invest in ourselves, in our mentors, we would still be stuck in survival mode too. Choosing to invest in yourselves, believe me, even sometimes it can be a stretch financially at the time, but I wouldn't trade it for a second. Would you, Angela?
No, I wouldn't. So glad I said yes to myself when I needed to.
Yeah, in some shape or form, you need to say yes to yourself, and this is huge. So what if we had what you had been asking for? Like, what if you had been given the tools that would not only help you recover from adrenal fatigue and balance out your hormones, but also give you the tools to just handle your life differently moving forward so that you can react to stress differently from here on out? So you can go on and not only be the healthiest person that you know, but like the healthiest, happiest version of yourself too. Finally, you're just waking up each day with this vigor and excitement to just truly live your life and pursue your dreams. Start that dream business, travel the world, do the things that you've always wanted to do. Would be amazing, wouldn't it? So today we promised, guys, to show you our 7 key steps and to show you how to recover from adrenal fatigue once and for all. And these steps work. We see it every day. And like we said, it doesn't necessarily involve depriving yourself of food or spending hours researching or hours in the kitchen, hours meditating, taking all these medications, synthetic drugs, or hormones with their nasty side effects. So at this point, you're probably wondering, like, that sounds great, but what's next? So you have a few choices right now. Number 1, you can keep on doing what you're doing and see how things go. Keep on the path that you're on. Number 2, you can take some of the information we've shared with you today and make necessary changes on your own. Doing the research for your unique needs, create a plan, and apply it to your life. Or you could step into a community, an exclusive coaching experience where you'll be supported by professionals. You'll get resources and the support you need to awaken deep healing and vibrancy in your life. And that's with our 10-week recovery immersion program. It's called Fatigue to Fabulous. And if that sounds good to you, here's what's next. So as soon as you join the Fatigue to Fabulous program, you get exclusive access to our online dashboard. And once the program begins, each week we're going to tackle one of the 7 topics we walked you through in detail and give you a plan to tackle each step with clarity and confidence. And then new information and resources are going to appear in that dashboard as we progress week by week. So what this means each week is that you get access to new materials, things like podcast style lectures, video lessons, reading materials, workbooks, cheat sheets, infographics, and a lot more. And we actually assign you little bits of homework tasks for each module, or as we like to call them, home play assignments, which have been designed to help you understand the concepts and incorporate the material into your life in a really manageable way. And then on top of all the content, every week we have live coaching and support calls where you get to be on our team live or with our team live each week with the opportunity to just ask questions, have them answered, and receive laser coaching by professionals. And this allows you to know exactly what to do next and have access to these expert coaches so you can see, they can help you see where you're stuck and help you move forward, when issues arise. So you're going to gain access to a beautiful recovery members only community on Facebook as well, where we pop in weekly doing live Q&A, offering inspiration and ongoing support. And in the Facebook group, you really realize that you don't need to suffer alone with this anymore. It's just like a wonderful place for you to connect with a family of others who get what you're going through and can offer their support and motivation too. And these 10 weeks really have the power to unleash a total health transformation in your world. It's a long enough time that you can effectively create new habits based on a proven system with the guidance of professional coaches and a rock solid support community behind you. And with that, I'm just going to give you a quick breakdown of what those 10 weeks look like if you choose to be a part of this amazing recovery revolution. So here we go. Week 1 and 2, we go through harmonizing your hormones in extensive detail. Week 3, rewire your brain for recovery. Week 4 and 5, we hone in on your GI, optimizing nutrient absorption. Week 6, we chat all about nutrition and diet. Week 7, sleep in rhythm. We dive into this huge problem for so many. Week 8, realize your healing movement. We're going to help you figure that out. Week 9, maintenance and sustainability. Week 10, we do just like a wrap-up review and answer any ongoing questions to set you off into the world with confidence.
Yay.
Okay. So again, when you become part of the Fatigue to Fabulous community, you get access to 7 life-transforming modules packed with expertise and guidance. Lots of weekly support, accountability calls with laser coaching and Q&As with Angela and myself. You're going to gain access to recovery protocols approved by naturopathic doctors, including up-to-date info on the best foods, herbs, and nutrients to nourish your adrenals with. A guide to making meal planning just really easy, including meal plan examples and grocery lists. And of course, access to the private members-only Facebook community. And the list that we're showing right now doesn't even include all the time you're going to save, because this program gives you shortcuts. You won't have to waste any more of your time, effort, or energy doing your own research on the forums, Facebooking, reading through the blogs, and just shifting through the good info and the bad. Because guys, we've done it all for you. You don't have to risk the long-term health consequences or miss out on any more on your precious life by wasting time guessing and experimenting. So like, if you're ready for a solution, if you're ready for a clear system to follow under the supervision and guidance of professionals and in the arms of a loving community, then that's really what you're going to get with this program.
Yeah. So, all right. So there's so much packed in this program. So when you break it down, the tangible value of the program is over $7,000. And we could totally charge this price for the amazing content you'll receive in Fatigue to Fabulous. But we wanted to make it doable for you. We know a lot of you are struggling and you've struggled a lot up to this point. We want to make it easy and manageable. So we aren't going to charge you that. But let's get real. The true value, I mean, if you're getting your life back and feeling healthy again, I mean, that's really priceless, right? But getting to wake up and being able to have energy to do what you love, that is absolutely invaluable. You know, health is the greatest wealth we have, right? And when we feel like crap all the time, we're not really being able to truly live our lives. So here's the thing. We're not going to charge you $7,500. We're not even going to charge you $6,000. We're not even going to charge you $5,000 or $4,000 or even $3,000 or even $2,000 or even $1,000. Well, you might be thinking, okay, hey ladies, this sounds great. Yes. But the burning question is, what's the investment, right? What is the investment for this? So here it is. The price for the Fatigue to Fabulous program right now is $997. But we're not even going to charge you that today, which is the cool thing. We have a limited offer for those who are ready to act fast and commit to this program. You can get it today for just $527, which is such a steal. And to make it easy for you, we give you 2 options. You can either pay in full, or you can do our 3-month payment plan. So if you're ready to join us, go ahead and click the enroll button below. And on top of that, you guys, we're throwing in some amazing bonuses. That really help you tackle some of the areas we generally see people getting stuck. And what they need more support with. And Danielle is going to tell you all about our awesome bonuses.
Thanks, Angela. It's my pleasure. So bonus number 1 is our recipe book. So this is where you're going to receive over 60 recipes from adrenal nourishing elixirs, healing tonics, broths, breakfasts, coffee alternatives. You're going to get access to a portion control guide and tons of recipe inspiration to help you just mix caffeine, heal your gut, and feel energized all day long with simple, easy to make recipes. Bonus number 2 is our amazing meditation album. And this was actually made by Angela and has been created specifically targeting adrenal fatigue recovery. And so this CD is filled with 10 powerful meditations that go along with each module of the program and help you integrate the steps easily into your life. It's completely downloadable so you can have it with you on the go wherever you want to listen to. And it's really great to have these guided meditations and trainings available to you when you need them. So that's a great one. And bonus number 3 is huge because it gives you access to our comprehensive gut reset system. And, you know, in step number 3, we spoke about how it can be nearly impossible to heal from adrenal fatigue when your gut health is compromised. So as a bonus, we're offering you exclusive access to our gut reset program, a comprehensive training and resource guide for tackling digestive issues and rebooting your GI. So you're going to get access to specific protocols, how to break through barriers like candida, parasites, SIBO, and a step-by-step guide to gut repair, including meal plans, recipe lists, and everything you need to just cover all your bases and break through one of these like really common barriers that hold so many people back. So you can ensure that that is no longer an issue for you moving forward. We want this to be the year that everything changes for you. So we know an investment matching the market value of this program would be really tough for a lot of you. So the price we're offering today breaks down to less than a latte a day over the length of the entire program, and it gives you access to all of these incredible resources. And on top of that, we wanted to add a really super special bonus. And this is an exclusive offer for those who are ready to commit to the Fatigue to Fabulous program today. So exclusive bonus number 4 is a success starter session. And what this is a private one-on-one session with one of our expert coaches. And this is great because it gives you a bit of a leg up, because we'll make sure that you're prepared for the program and that you have everything you need to get the best results. And we do an awesome vision creation and goal setting process that's really powerful and motivating. So it's a great way to kick off this experience. And if you want to take advantage of this super special offer, click the enroll button now to confirm your spot. So these exclusive bonuses kick the program value up way over $9,000, but the price is going to stay the same for you today. And on top of the Fatigue to Fabulous program and all the bonuses, we have a great opportunity for those who haven't had the chance to get clarity with hormonal testing to take the guesswork out of your recovery plan. And so this is another extra special thing, and we're offering a special program add-on, which we call the Test and Treat option. So this includes the Adrenal Stress Index test and a full panel look at what's going on with your sex hormones. So this is just actual hormone testing, guys. And our professional testing is some of the most accurate testing for adrenal fatigue out there and really gives us a complete picture as to what's going on hormonally with you. If you choose to get the add-on package, a test kit will be sent to you in the mail right away. You will receive confirmation from one of our rockstar naturopathic doctors who specialize in adrenal fatigue and the associated sex hormone imbalances. And once those results are in, the doctor will schedule a 90-minute appointment via Skype or phone to walk you through the results and help tailor and fine-tune your recovery plan. So it's super convenient and super tailored to what your body needs. And we've made it so you don't even have to leave your house or get a babysitter to get this done.
Pretty awesome. All right. So we know there's tremendous value in this program, from the education, the weekly check-ins, the professional, emotional, and dietary support to the next level medical care, if you need that. And, we have covered all the bases to really start the transformation, to help you with that transformation right away. We've seen people pay over $5,000 for this type of support and care. But if you grab the program today with this exclusive limited time webinar offer, you're going to get all of this for just $527. But this offer is only available for the next 12 hours, and the price will go up after that. Maybe you're not sure that you can do it. Maybe you have a little voice inside your head that likes to talk you out of things. Well, we'd like to be that bigger voice advocating for you and saying it is your time to heal. And believe me when I tell you, if I can do this, you can do it too. And we really believe in that 100%. We believe in you. And if you can always do it at a pace that works for you. That's important to remember. And don't forget, you have a supportive and safe community, our team and the private members Facebook only group to reach out to, who are going through the same thing, who are there to lend an ear or shoulder to get you through the tough times. If you're committed to change, then our community and our team are committed to helping you get there. And again, you have options. You can pay up front or split the payment over the 3 months, whatever is easiest for you. Either option will secure your spot, and a coach will be in touch with you to schedule your private intro session. So again, if you're interested in grabbing the program at $527, you want to grab that now, as the price will be going out tomorrow. And again, if you're interested in that test and treat option we mentioned earlier, if you're ready to get some real clarity, then you have that option to add on during the checkout process. So make sure you look for that. And when you're ready to join us, remember, click that enroll button below. And once you do that, you're going to be sent to a sign up page. You'll scroll down till you see the different payment options and the 2 different buy now buttons. So you're just going to choose whatever payment option works best for you right now and click the link, click the button. And the pop-up will ask you for your information. First, a registration page will pop up where you're going to fill out all your basic information, create your unique Fatigue to Fabulous login, and you're going to pay for the program. Once you're done, you'll be redirected to a new page where you'll have the option to opt into that test and treat add-on we talked about. So whether you opt in for the test and treat or not, an email will be on its way letting you know how to access the materials and the next steps. If you register in time, the next 12 hours, and get that price for $527, and get that bonus 4, you get the one-on-one session, then a coach will be in touch with you to schedule your private session very soon. Okay, so that's about it. We're going to show you how to get your hands on that amazing morning rituals guide we promised, and such an amazing resource for you. So just click the enroll button. And when you go to that page, you're going to scroll down to the bottom and click the guide as you see right here. You'll see the yellow arrows. So there you go. And we hope you enjoy that. If you're ready to recover once and for all, then we are your girls. We are your team. You don't have to do this alone anymore. So we thank you so much for being here and staying to the end. And for those of you who know we are your gals, to get you where you want to go, we can't wait, and we're so honored. And we can't wait to see you inside the program. And if not, we wish you so many healing blessings. And if you find you need help in the future, we're here for you. So again, thank you all for being here. And we'll see you soon.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye.